Helium has had a horrific end to 2022 with regards to price action, touching levels we have not seen since the very beginning of 2021. Helium also dramatically underperformed the rest of the crypto market, ultimately dipping below the top 100 coins by market cap threshold. There is no doubt the price action has been horrible and can certainly get worse, but we are currently in the midst of one of the worst bear markets on record and just went through the crypto equivalent of a Lehman Brothers moment. The question going into 2023 is what needs to happen for Helium to not only recover but outperform over the next 2 to 5 years. It all really boils down to two major factors. Both need to happen in order for Helium to survive, and neither of them alone will definitively impact the price in a substantial or even positive way. The Solana migration, and more broadly the survival of Solana, and increased data usage on the Helium network is what it all boils down to at this point in 2023. Everything else is just noise right now, including the price. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm sorry it has been so long since I have made a video. December was a crazy month for me with regards to work and a bunch of other things, but not much has happened with regards to Helium except for the price basically collapsing below or around to the $1.50 range. Going forward throughout this year, I do plan on making more consistent content here with regards to Helium and other related cryptocurrencies, so stay tuned for that. But today we are going to talk about the two things, or really the only two things that I think really matter for Helium moving forward indefinitely. If these two things do not happen, Helium ultimately will collapse or just fail altogether. Neither one of these things alone can save the network. They both do have to happen in order for Helium to regain traction, regain momentum here moving forward. Of course, we have gotten past this sort of growth bubble, which I think is a good thing with regards to the onboarding of hotspots and so forth. We have a decent number of online hotspots at this point. Now, of course, we do have to remember that only 51% of these IoT hotspots are currently online. So we're sitting at around 500,000 active hotspots on the network, which I think is a fair number to start with moving into 2023. But now, guys, the two main things that I believe are the only two things that really matter going into 2023 and beyond are a successful migration to Solana. And of course, in order to have a successful migration to Solana, Solana does have to survive. Obviously, we know that with the contagion from FTX and the fallout there, there is a lot of uncertainty around Solana, specifically considering its involvement so heavily with FTX and Alameda Research.
I think being comfortable with risk.
So we need not only there to be a successful migration, which is expected to happen in Q1, but we also, of course, need Solana to survive and not completely collapse. We need developers to stay. We need the ecosystem to continue to expand. We're going to get into more details on what very positive things are going on with Solana right now, but also what other people are saying and speculating with regards to Solana. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But the second thing that we need to happen for the Helium network to move forward and regain momentum in 2023 is data usage. We need to see data usage not only continue, but increase consistently and sort of form a new base and see new partners join the ecosystem. We just saw Hivemapped start using the Helium network officially as of yesterday, which is really, really great news, which also means a lot of this data we're seeing here is not from Hivemapped, so that should all be additive going forward, which will be great. We're going to talk about all of that moving forward. But first, I know I said that the price really doesn't matter right now, and it doesn't, but it is fun to look at the price.
It's fun. I like it.
And there is one thing I do want to mention that I'll be looking at to sort of try and gauge when we might be bottoming, but I don't think we're going to be bottoming really anytime soon, unfortunately. The first thing I want to take a look at is the depth of the market here. As we can see on Binance, the depth of the market really falls off at $1.40. So if we go and test $1.40 again and we go below it, we are going straight to basically $1 here. that is just something to be prepared for. That will be a new low for this pullback, but that is extremely possible, especially considering I don't think the contagion from the FTX fallout has really washed through the entire market and claimed all of its victims just yet. So that is something to watch out for. This $1 level, if we break the $1.40, is extremely likely. Secondly, on this chart, of course, we're not going to look at anything below the daily here. But if we look, there's really nothing to look at here. We're just continuously collapsing through these previous support levels that were created a really long time ago. The only thing on this chart that really I think holds any value is actually down here on the RSI. This is the only trend line that has been consistent since the all-time high back in November of 2021. As you can see, we have touched this trend line numerous times. I think this is going to play a huge role, and when we do eventually break this line, that is going to be, I think, the first maybe inkling that we might be officially bottoming here, but I don't think we're there just yet. So guys, before we talk about Solana, I want to address the other critical factor here moving forward for Helium, which is data usage. At the end of the day, data usage is what we need. We're at the point where the Helium network has, let's call it 500,000 active hotspots on the IoT network. That is sufficient to start to see people and companies using the network. We have seen things like Senet and WeatherXM and now Hivemapped as of officially yesterday start using the network, and we can see a significant uptick in the data usage here as of about the beginning of November, which is really good, and it has been rather steady. A continued increase of this data usage is critical for Helium to not only regain positive sentiment in the market, but also to attract new users of the network. We're getting to the point where once we do migrate to Solana, we'll be at the point where there's no excuse for there not to be use of the network. If we don't see use towards the middle or end of this year being steady or continuously increasing, there's going to be serious trouble here for Helium. Again, this is a utility platform, a utility network, and for the past 3 years, the excuse has been the infrastructure is being built. Now, it is still being built, but there is enough of it to start seeing some usage, and that is what we have to look for. And as of right now, it looks like it is doing pretty well. As you can see, for these few months here in the middle of 2022, there has been very little, and we saw a massive uptick come November. Of course, it is hard to tell if or how what percentage of this is valid, because we know that there was some uncertainty and spoofing regarding this data here. But as far as I know right now, this data is valid and rather reputable. This uptick is very good, and we need to see this continue. And as I mentioned, as we can see here, Ariel Seidman, he is the CEO and co-founder of Hivemapped. He announced just yesterday that the firmware update for the dascham went live, and it is now using the Helium network for location verification. This is very positive news and should spark and drive further network data usage on the IoT sub-DAO. This is really important, and as Hivemapped grows, of course, the data that they are transferring with their devices should also increase, which is very positive and very good news for not only Hivemapped, but for Helium as well. Now, guys, secondly, the other critical thing that needs to happen in order for Helium to succeed, progress, and move forward the way that I want it to in 2023 and beyond is Solana has to survive. Now that the vote has passed and we are migrating to Solana, whether you're happy about that decision or not happy is really irrelevant at this point. We are going to Solana. So the only thing we need to be concerned about is that Solana is the best version of itself that it can be. And by doing that, will benefit Helium long term. We need the ecosystem to continue to grow. We need developers to stay. We need the price to stabilize, all of these things. But of course, with the FTX contagion fears, there is a lot of uncertainty right now. Now, even regardless of the sentiment really driving this price action, action here. And as you can see, Solana was down to almost $8. Really, really horrible price action, but that was mostly driven by sentiment. But what still has been yet to unfold is the actual unraveling of the positions that Alameda Research and FTX hold. It is unclear how these proceedings are going to unfold and how those positions are going to be unwound. That is going to play a significant role in the market mechanics for Solana and really could drive the price even lower and further disincentivize people to build on the platform. Now, there are other people, even apart from just the FTX contagion, as we can see here, that are just very against Solana. As you can see, someone here, why is Solana so bad? Centralized, unreliable network with unacceptable downtime in hands of venture capitalists who extract value from retail. I think that should be enough. So as you can see, there is a lot of dislike and disdain towards Solana. That has really been going on before Helium got involved. But at this point, we really just have to root for Solana as an L1 in order for Helium to flourish on their platform. But guys, with all that being said, Solana is doing a tremendous job at continuing to build out its development, its infrastructure, and its network. As we can see, the Solana mobile stack and Solana's mobile flagship device Saga is coming out early 2023. That was big news in 2022, and it is highly anticipated and should, if rolled out properly, have a huge impact with regards to the adoption of Solana throughout more of the crypto ecosystems. Now there's also Solana Pay, introduced in February, has kickstarted a frictionless, permissionless payment ecosystem. It's now being used by stores and brands alike and will continue to grow in 2023. Another incredible feat from Solana. Of course, we need to see these things continuously grow and people continuously build upon them, despite all that's going on with FTX and so forth. Now, another huge milestone and accomplishment for Solana is Stripe debuting its fiat to crypto payment on-ramp, and 11 of the 16 projects in the program are built on Solana. These are huge announcements and developments here in the Solana ecosystem. So there is a lot of really great things being built here. We just need to ensure that it continues this way and that the FTX contagion doesn't contaminate all of this progress that is being made, and Solana not only survives, but Helium benefits from the ecosystem and being on their L1, of course, because that is really the whole point. But guys, at the end of the day here, Helium has retreated all the way down to the 106 rank by market cap on this list. As we can see, really, really underperforming its peers here. I am hopeful that 2023 is going to be the new foundation for Helium, and we are going to see significant progress, data usage, and reliability from the Helium network here on out. Guys, let me know what you're looking at for 2023. Those are my big two takes here. Those are the two things that I think we need to happen, or Helium might not make it. But I am hopeful, and I am continuing to mine and dollar cost average at these levels. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Let me know your questions or thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. But just like that, this video is over, and I'll see you next time.